What's up, gaming heroes, and welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. In today's video, we have a special treat for you, the ultimate guide to farming mounts in World of Warcraft. With more than 800 mounts to farm here in World of Warcraft, it can get overwhelming where to start, where to begin, how to get started with mount farming. So I'm here to explain it for you all. So remember to hit that like button if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. First things first, what are mounts? Mounts are creatures that players can basically ride in-game to get to a certain location a little bit faster. But they're even more important than that to the player base. They're a symbol of prestige, of achievements, of completing something that was difficult to do. Whenever you do something in World of Warcraft, you grind something out, you kill a mob over and over every single day for years and years until that mount eventually drops. That is a symbol of achievement for many players. They've collected this mount. They worked really hard. For some players, it's just a little bit of a I got lucky on my first kill. But for many other players, they've worked their absolute arse off to get that mount. And for some players, they've paid a pretty penny for these mounts. So it's a symbol of prestige to show how much gold they've got. They're also a great way of showcasing your personality, your personal achievements, and your interests in the game. Now, I've told you why mounts are awesome in World of Warcraft, and part of the reason I absolutely love farming mounts is just because I love having loads of mounts. I love working towards the awesome achievements you can get in-game. There are loads of really good resources to farm mounts and get started with farming mounts, so I'm going to cover those in this video. Now, do bear in mind that I actually farm mounts on my stream over on twitch.tv/Erosium every single Friday, so if you want to come and join for those 3 hours of mount farming, then be sure to hit that follow button and head over to my Twitch channel just there. I want to jump into the add-ons and the websites for this. So first is first, the websites that you want to check out are Simple Armory. This is a website that basically you can connect your Battle.net to, and then it will show you all the mounts that you can possibly get, and then all the mounts you have versus don't have, and then it can create a strategy for you to get more mounts. It's really, really good if you're just looking for something simple to get you started, right? The only part I don't like about the website is it doesn't show the actual mounts for your character. It just shows the icons. It doesn't actually show what the mount looks like, which it is what it is. It's no biggie, but that's just me being pedantic. The next one that I really like, and I would say I actually use this a little bit more than Simple Armory. I think Simple Armory is really good for creating a strategy and a plan for getting more mounts. However, this next one is really interesting because it shows all of the mounts and actually what they look like as well, which I really like. Now, while you're collecting mounts, you may as well go and collect some awesome geeky gamer t-shirts using code Erosium for $1, €1, or £1 off your order. Head over to Qwertee.com to check out those awesome t-shirts. Dude, these t-shirts are limited edition. They last for literally 48 hours and then you can't buy that t-shirt again. They're cheap, they have worldwide shipping, and you get $1, £1, or €1 off when you use code Erosium at the checkout. What more do you want, sunshine? Go buy yourself some awesome geeky gamer t-shirts right now from Qwertee.com. This next website is called Warcraft Mounts. It's literally just warcraftmounts.com. And you literally head over there, you click on the login, and then you connect up your Battle.net, and boom, bang, ping, it will automatically tell you what mounts you've got and what mounts you can collect. It's got little pictures of what the mounts look like, not just their icons, which I really, really like. And I think this is a step above everything else that I've seen out there. The only thing I find a bit meh is that it doesn't have a strategy for getting all these next mounts. It doesn't say, go to here, go get this, go get this, do this. It's not like a shopping list of instructions like it is for the Simple Armory. It's just, here are all the mounts, and here are all the ones you don't have, and this is how to get each individual one. It doesn't give you kind of instructions on it. in a nice list, as far as I've been able to find anyhow. So what I would suggest is use both tools at your discretion, or use both resources at your discretion to be able to get the mounts. I really like using Warcraft mounts for actually seeing what the mounts look like, because at the end of the day, why would we go and farm another horse recolor when it just looks trash, right? You're just going to get that one for the numbers. But when you go and farm a specific mount that looks awesome, like, I don't know, a fiery demon, I want the fiery demon. How do I get this fiery demon? That is one that I want to farm because I've seen how it looks rather than just a simple icon, right? Now, going forward, I've got 3 add-ons that I would suggest for you to get started with mount farming. All the things. This add-on is so powerful, it's so good, and I absolutely love it nearly as much as I love hitting the like button, because that like button needs to be hit every now and again. All the things is an add-on which basically shows everything that you can collect in-game, and then it shows you how to get it. I use all the things to get recipes for my professions, and I don't know why I love farming recipes for my professions. I think it's because if I get a rare recipe and then I sell that transmog on the auction house, I'm usually like one of the only people who do that, and therefore every now and again I sell something worth like 300,000 gold, and I'm just like, that cost me like 80 gold to make! What? It's amazing, and I love it. You can use all the things to farm mounts. It's so cool. Just simply download all the things. Link is in the description. You can type /ATT and it will bring up the user interface. You can go through and find the mount section, and then it will literally just give you a whole list of mounts you don't have, and you can go farm it. It's quite simple. The next add-on I'm going to talk about is Rarity. I really love Rarity. I'm a streamer, I'm a YouTube content creator, and therefore Rarity is especially nice for me, and it might be for you as well. This keeps track of the amount of times you've killed something on one particular character. Say I'm on my main character, my Erosium druid, and I'm killing, I don't know, and I'm killing Jaina for her awesome mount, and I've killed her like 5 times. Each time it will post in the chat that I've killed her once, twice, 3 times, and then I can kind of keep track of how many times it took me to finally get that mount. This is kind of like a satisfying way in my head to keep track of things. Now, there are several ways in World of Warcraft that you can farm or obtain mounts, and we're going to quickly just go over them all briefly, just for anyone that's trying to get a full understanding of what ways do you actually get mounts. And don't worry, I'm going to cover some specific mounts at the end as well. So the first way to get mounts would be quest rewards. Some mounts are actually rewards for completing a series of quests. Drops, literally killing various bosses in raids or dungeons or world bosses, or just generally just slaying loads and loads of mobs, can actually reward you with cool mounts. Achievements. Certain achievements will grant you mount as a result of achieving that achievement. Crafting. Professions. Engineers and tailors can create certain mounts which can be sold and used by players. Vendor mounts. You can actually just go straight up to a vendor and buy yourself a mount. I've got to give a shout out to 2 mounts that I just couldn't live without. First, the Dalaran vendor mount. Dude, I love that mount so much. Vendor mount, Dalaran, amazing. And then the other one is the Yak mount, the Grand Expedition mount, which allows you to modify your transmog whilst on your own mount. So useful, I love it! PvP, player versus player. Participate in player versus player content to earn awesome rewards for your mounts. Promotions and events. At the moment, Blizzard have this really good connection with Twitch at the moment, where if you watch certain streamers and you have an Amazon Prime account, you can actually win yourself mounts or pets or toys in-game from literally just watching a streamer for like 4 hours. It's so awesome. Promotions and events are really, really good to just generally get those unique mounts. Now that we know some different ways to actually get mounts, let's take a deeper dive into strategies for mount farming. Here are some tips and tricks for farming mounts in World of Warcraft. Know your target. Research the mounts you want to farm and their drop locations. Focus on 1 or 2 at a time at max. You don't want to have millions of mounts because you'll just get overwhelmed and then suddenly you'll be like, I'm not going to do any mount farming. So focus on 1 or 2 and then just go after them like a bat out of hell. Be prepared. Now, make sure your character is strong enough and you're skilled enough to be able to handle killing those bosses on your own. If you're not strong enough, then make a group and do it as a group. Using add-ons such as Rarity, All the Things, and Simple Armory can allow you to find all those mounts that are pretty easy to get, but you've just somehow forgotten to get it. I've had loads of these situations, and you'd be surprised how common this is. Farming with your friends and just creating a community or joining a community to mount farm on a specific day of the week can keep it really, really interesting. I obviously started streaming it on Fridays, and since then, the community for mount farming has just grown and grown and grown, and everyone loves doing this on a Friday. We all come in together and we all farm the same mounts together. Now, because of this has led to people who have certain saves on raids. So instead of having to do the entire raid to get to a specific boss to kill that boss so we can get the chance of getting a mount, instead people have saves so we can skip 90% of the raid and go straight to the boss that actually matters for getting the mounts. This is just so awesome, and one of the reasons that it's really good to create a community or a friendship group of people who like to farm together. I highly suggest it. And hey, if you're not too keen on that, just come and join my streams instead. Make a schedule. Make one day throughout the week that you really want to just dedicate an hour or 2 to getting mounts. Then just do that every single week. That day is your day to do it. For me, that is Fridays and Thursday if I've got time. I like to do it on these days because I know on Wednesdays the raids all reset and therefore I can go back and kill any of those bosses that I missed last week. Be patient. Some mounts have low drop rates and they will quite literally take years to get. So persistence is key. It took me 57 weeks of farming the Mecha Mogul MK2, but in the end I did get it, and it was the most epic drop ever in the history of mankind in World of Warcraft. I was so over the moon about getting that mount. You got to understand that I had been making raid groups for 57 weeks to get that mount, and finally it dropped. I was just over the moon. I'd seen 4 people get that mount previously, and every time I created a special routine where everyone in the raid had to kneel before that person if they got that mount, and that person would mount up and we take a screenshot of the community helping them get that mount. That was a satisfying moment. So when I finally got it and everyone kneeled and showed appreciation for me as well, it was just a magical moment. It's part of the reason I love mount farming. Now we've covered some basic strategies for mount farming, let's go over some specific mounts to get you started in your journey, because you might be brand new to World of Warcraft and there's some just great places for you to get started. So first is first, there are race-specific mounts. Every single race in the game has a vendor where you can effectively go speak to that vendor and buy, 5 or 6 mounts for that specific race. So, for yourself, just create literally a race of every single character and go buy those mounts. Additionally, you don't have to do it like that. You can actually just farm the reputation on one character and then go and buy those mounts for that. But I would actually just make your own character and level it up and then buy the mounts that way, because it's nice and easy and you get more characters. What's to lose with that? Next, I'm just going to cover 5 awesome mounts that I've got or I'm trying to get, and I absolutely love them and think you should get them as well. The first one is Midnight from Karazhan. Head over to Karazhan in Deadwind Pass and just literally slay Atumen the Huntsman. You can do this in 2 technical raids. The Burning Crusade version, which will give you the old version of Midnight, and then the Legion version of Karazhan, which will also give you Midnight, but just a slightly different reskin of the same mount. They're both really, really cool, and I suggest getting both. You can do this every single week. It resets on Wednesdays, so you can kill the bosses again after that. Shark bait. This is what I'm trying to get on stream at the moment, and I have a strong suspicion that in the next World of Warcraft Dragonflight patch, everyone's going to be getting this because I do believe Freehold is going to be on the Mythic Plus rotation list. So I think a lot of people are going to probably get Sharkbait as a result, but I really, really want this mount. It is a ultimate pirate mount. I've got the green parrot already. This one is the red parrot. And this drops from Harlan the Sweetie in Mythic Dungeon mode. So make sure if you're going into Freehold, which is over in BFA Tygarde Sound, you complete the dungeon on Mythic and you slay Harlan the Sweetie, which is the final boss. He has a chance of dropping Sharkbait. If you're struggling to get any of these mounts or you're not sure, if they drop or where they drop, just do yourself a favor. There's a super really good tip for doing this. Press Shift, press J, and once you've done that, it will bring up the Traveler's Log. Go to the Dungeons and Raids section, and then just simply search the one that you're looking for, and you can actually look at the specific loot that drops in every dungeon and every raid, so you can actually just track down where certain mounts drop, which is really, really cool. The Swift White Hawk Strider, this drops from Kel'Thas Sunstrider in Magister's Terrace Heroic. So just complete it on Heroic and just keep doing it over and over again, and eventually this wonderful mount will drop. I actually got this mount from doing time walking dungeons for the Burning Crusade. It's really, really good. The Bronze Drake. This mount drops from the Infinite Corruptor in the Culling of Stratholme on Heroic difficulty. Really, really cool mount, and just generally, I really like this. This was one of the very first mounts I actually got, which got me interested in farming mounts on a whole. I absolutely love the Bronze Drake. Definitely worth picking this up. The Colossal Umbrahide Moorrat. Now, this drops from Shadowlands in Torghast. So you will have had to have a character which has unlocked Shadowlands. And if you've done that, then you can head into Torghast, complete it on any layer above level 13, and it has the chance to drop from bosses at any layer above 13. It's really, really cool. I absolutely love this. I actually got it when it was current content, and it was really, really hard to obtain it back then, but now it's pretty easy. Go give it a go. There's loads of different Morats that you can get from Torghast. Okay, so there's 5 dungeon mounts. Now let's look into 5 raid mounts. Okay, so these are 5 raid mounts that I'm actually farming right now on my streams every Friday. That is Ashes of Alar, Invincible, Spawn of Horadon, Clutch of Jakun, and Astral Cloud Serpent. Now, I've already got Astral Cloud Serpent, Clutch of Jakun, and I need to get the others. So let's go through this. Ashes of Alar can be dropped from Kel'Thas Sunstrider in the Tempest Keep the Eye, which is a raid over in Netherstorm, the Burning Crusade. Invincible Reigns can be found in Icecrown Citadel on Heroic difficulty. Slay the Lich King, and you'll get this from that. Honestly, it's a hard mount to get, but it's really satisfying if you do get it, because it is definitely a symbol of prestige in the mount farming community to have the Invincible Reigns. Spawn of Horadon can be found in the Throne of Thunder, which is a Pandaria raid, and you do have to unlock the Isle of Thunder. It literally takes about 1 minute to unlock. It's so quick. It's ridiculous. You can do it on any character. There's no real prerequisites or anything like that, so just head over to Throne of Thunder and get that for yourself. Horadon drops from the boss Horadon. Now, whilst you're there, you can also carry on the raid instance and go all the way up to Jakun, which will, when slain, eventually drop Jakun, which will eventually drop the Clutch of Jakun, which is basically a mini version of Jakun, but as a mount. Really, really cool. Going forward, the Astral Cloud Serpent, one of the luckiest mounts I've ever received to date. Got it on my very first attempt of killing the boss. I was absolutely bewildered. I couldn't believe it. My mind just blew up. It was insane. You can farm this from Mogushan Vaults in Pandaria, and you have to slay the boss Eligon. Moving on, let's look at 6 PvP mounts. First is first, we've got the Black War Mammoth, which is a horde mount, which you can buy from Wintergrasp for 15 Marks of Honor. You get Marks of Honor from just completing battlegrounds and winning them. It's really quite easy. Wintergrasp is an Ice Crown area, so be warned, you do need to make sure your faction controls Wintergrasp for you to purchase this mount. The Alliance version of this is much the same as the Horde version. You need to control Wintergrasp in order to purchase it. It does cost 15 Marks of Honor. You get Marks of Honor from PvP Battlegrounds. The Black Battle Strider can be purchased from Lieutenant Carter if you are Alliance for 15 Marks of Honor, and you can purchase this in Stormwind Champions Hall. Much the same for Horde, they have the Swift War Strider, which is basically a really cool black bird, and this can be bought from Raider Bork in the Hall of Legends or Grimmar for 15 Marks of Honor. For Horde and Alliance, there are two more mounts here. For the Horde, it's the Frostwolf Howler, and for the Alliance, it's the Stormpike Battle Charger, and this can actually be purchased from Alterac Valley, the PvP battleground. And for the Horde, this is Yorick Ironside in Hillsbrad Foothills. Or if you're actually in the battleground, you can buy it from Grunder Wolfheart, and it costs 15 Marks of Honor. For the Stormpike Battle Charger, you will buy this from Thanthaudis Snowgleam in the Headlands Alterac Mountains. Now, I actually bought this from inside Alterac Valley as well, so it is worth noting you can definitely buy it inside Alterac Valley as well. You just have to go to your main Alliance area inside the actual battleground itself, and you can purchase it for 15 Marks of Honor. All right, so there you go. There is 6 PvP mounts, 5 raid mounts, and 5 dungeon mounts, just to get you started on your journey. I really hope this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. If it did, do me a favor and smash that like button, click subscribe, check out my stream over on twitch.tv, and if you want to get an awesome Geeky Gamer t-shirt, then check out Qwertee.com. Use code Erosium at the checkout to get $1, €1, or £1 off your order. Let's go. Thanks for watching. This is Erosium out.